Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Sulamaweje, pronounced He, and I'm very excited that I didn't mess up with the poster. It was actually showing at 29 Wednesday, which was supposed to be Thursday, but thank you everyone for showing us and also being here. I hope you're all doing well today, and we have a very special lineup episode, and we're going to dive into the rich and inspiring history of Black Queer Month. We'll be shedding light on some of the incredible individuals and milestones that have shaped the LGBTQIA plus movement in Africa and also beyond. Because this is going, so buckle up because this is going to be an enlightening journey. So first and foremost, for those who are joining us from Africa, East Africa, good afternoon. And those who are joining us from the US, good morning. And from Canada, so thank you so much for joining us. And today we are joined with a beautiful panel of beautiful transgender women activists. So I will want us to take a moment for them to introduce themselves, and then we can go ahead. We'll start with the lady on my right, the one wearing a very beautiful red dress. Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, your name, your pronouns, and which organization you are affiliated to.
Oh, well, thank you very much for welcoming me on this panel. Thank you, Salama Weji. And the viewers who are seeing us, I will start introducing myself as the host has said. I'm chosen Becky, pronunciation she, stroke her, a proud trans woman, a beneficiary from Matasia Trans Capability. Thank you for watching us.
Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. So we'll go on to the next person in the middle. I really love your jacket.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you all. Um, Thank you so much for this opportunity. So, Mawenji, thank you so much, my brother. Uh, I'm Conrad Makela, a trans woman, pronouns she, her, and I'm a minister under the Ministry of Scientific Community Fellowship, Kenya. Uh, and I'm a member of RHI. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Conrad, for that beautiful introduction. So we'll go on to our last guest, the main guest. So thank you so much. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, lovely siblings. This is Amalia. Nice meeting you, as I promised. Please just sit down, relax, and enjoy the culture. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Emalia, for agreeing to be here, and everyone who is here, Conrad, and also Chosen Becky. So today, as we all know, it's Black Queer History Month, and we're celebrating it in a way that we're going to talk about some of the incredible individuals and also the milestones that we have had as the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as also integrating that with the LGBTQIA plus community. So just to take you on a journey, because I love storytelling. So so our journey begins with the trailblazers who laid the foundation for the LGBTQIA plus rights movement. One name that stands out is Marshall P. Johnson, a black trans activist and a key figure in the Stonewall uprising of the 1969. Sorry, of 1959. Sorry. Marshall P. Played a pivotal role in taking kick-starting the Pride movement, advocating for the rights of the queer movement. And as well as we also know are the trans are gender persons or transgender women, and also drag queens were one of the big roles in starting the movement around Pride. If we all know, I think that we are all very familiar with Pride, and also there is more to the story. Did you know that the drag queen played a significant role in the early Pride movement? Drag queens such as Livia Rivera joined forces with Marsha P. Johnson, contributing to the fight for the LGBTQIA plus rights. Their resilience and courage paved the way for the Pride celebration we know today. So we are giving you a gist of how, why this month is very important and why are we choosing to honor this day by celebrating one of individuals that have proven to be have laid the way, have been very courageous, and have also been very resilient in our community. And as well as I also don't want to forget in the African context, African activists that have been on the front line to make sure, like, people's rights are being respected. And queer people like us, where I come from, Uganda, we have our queer NGOs that are operating and are making sure like people have basic needs and also have services. So let's shift our focus to the incredible African queer activists who have made a lasting impact. So the name that comes to my mind there is David Kato, a Ugandan advocate for tirelessly against discriminatory laws in Uganda. His legacy lives as a symbol of and courage and resilience, inspiring countless others in the fight for justice. So we also want, as much as we want to relate the Black queer history with also African activists like David Kato, we have Pepe, and many others. So we have like a bunch of incredible African activists that have been very, very inspirational. And that actually takes me to like the question that I've been always like I've been dying to ask our panelists, people who are joining us today. So to everyone that is here, building on the history we explored, how can we ensure that the contribution of Black queer activists like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, and also Kato David and other African activists are not forgotten. What action can we take as a community to preserve and celebrate his this rich history? I'm going to start with Emalia. Let me repeat the question. Uh, Building on the history we explored, how can we ensure that the contribution of Black queer activists like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, and not forgetting David Kato, what action can we take as a community to preserve and celebrate this rich history?
Okay, thank you so much, my sibling. And I'm sorry to call you sibling because I don't want to misgender people. We have different categories.
Yes.
So before I answer your question, I want to also take this. This is also in line with the question. For the Black Queer Month, we already celebrated in February.
Yeah.
That started in 1969, right? Yeah, so we've been celebrating this month, and most of us it just come and pass, and it's a crucial month
Yeah.
towards mostly the transgender persons or the queers and the LGBTIQ persons at the entire
Yeah.
like so all individuals, all organizations are meant to celebrate this month, to
Yeah.
welcome this month, to appreciate the month of February.
Yeah.
So back the
Our question
question.
is, how can we be able to ensure that these people that have contributed to, these monuments or these movements, so that queer people can be able, Black queer activists, how can we preserve and they're not forgetting their work, they're not forgetting? What action can we take as a community to preserve and celebrate this rich history?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
One thing I would do talk about in my time I'll call it legacy. If we're building these movements, if we do embrace these calendar days,
Yeah.
and we look at what inspired later
Yeah.
before the youngsters coming in.
Yeah.
What are the legacy that those people are living?
Yeah.
And I think that legacy moderator we moving into,
Yeah.
and it's the legacy that we're following. So my thing will be if we now talking about this generation
Yes.
we in.
Yeah.
So what can we do better so that the future generation also try to cope up and embrace and appreciate these days
Yeah.
and celebrating. Let's have a legacy. Let's do more of which word should I use? We call it more of orienting people
Mm.
into what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm.
It's not all about who is studying it, who is prominent, who is known, but
Yeah.
how do you
Mm.
appreciate, how do you handle people?
Mm.
So if we could do this to people, we pass on information, we pass on, we orient.
Mm.
So I think this legacy would do
Yeah.
move on much.
So I think also something that I'm getting is also we mentor.
Yeah,
Let's mentor other queer LGBTQIA plus individuals that actually like give them spaces. Let's not get deep.
Yep, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to move the question to the person in the middle. Hey, Conrad.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So how can we be able not to forget like these incredible people that have shaped our movement as the LGBTQIA plus community? Don't forget them. Like what action can we take as a community so that we can preserve this and celebrate this rich history?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I think what we can do is that uh, we are supposed to come out with some plan so that we can sit with our members of the community.
Yes.
Of course, we still have a new generation that is coming in
Yeah.
and out. Because some are getting, we are supposed to, I think, according to me,
Yes.
it's better than we sit with the young generation who don't know who don't know these people so that they can know what they did and to follow what they because according to me they are good people and they made something big
Yeah.
to the community.
Yeah. Thank you so
I
much.
think also to my co-visitor, I think she's trying to meet if let's at times we look at the we look at the leaders or the people who are like into this system, like owning spaces. Let's give chances. Let's. I think if we should keep the legacy and if we appreciate them, so that if I've passed through you, I've passed through your your lineage.
Yeah.
I'll appreciate you wherever you are, whatever. May his souls to this country, David died,
Yeah.
but you have been through his lineage. They do appreciate. That's why we will all remember David because it gave opportunity to people.
Yeah.
So in most cases, when we have these leaders who are so okay in the
Prominent,
space, yes, they they tend maybe not to engage with the young generation, I may call it, but it also helps if we engage. Want to know what's that there is a person who's at that grassroots and he has this potential to do what I can do and does it better. So if I do, what is the word again?
Mentor.
Mentor. If I do mentor this young person of mine, and he does what exactly I'm doing, this person is going to do it better and my image, my people will always remember me. People will always be like, oh, Emalia did something through this person. You'll see an image of me. You get. I think that's why my youngster is trying to.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Maria. You're always good. I love Conrad's, opinion on this and also as well as yours. I would love to also hear uh chosen Becky. That is quite great.
Well, thank you
I
very
love
much.
your hair.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much to give me this opportunity, and I will continue saying I'm from Matasia Capability. As I'm going to answer this question, I think we can do, we can visit the historical sites like the way my sister Emaria has said, like someone can die when he has done some historical sites. So we need to visit those historical sites so that we remember that this is a historical site made by Akuya people. Another thing I think we can create road trips, like we can move so that we teach people how queer are, how do they move, how do they supposed to think. I think it can help that.
So something that I'm getting from Chosen Becky's insights is around the fact that we also need to teach people about Black queer history. Like we need to put like how you go to a museum and there is archives, like where you can go and read about these prominent people that have been on the front side, on the front line, to defend for our rights. Having these people or having archives that are documenting, these people so that someone that is going to come out later will come and reflect on this history because there is a lot of misguiding history around who is a queer person. Uh, so I think also because when I came out, I had to go on the internet like to check out who is a queer person, who is gay, how does a gay person do it. But if you have articulate information that's stored there, we will not be able to. Someone will read about all these prominent activists that shaped our community. So that brings me to our next question. Um, Shifting our focus on Africa. We discussed the remarkable work of David Kato and other queer activists. What challenge do LGBTQIA plus individuals face in different African regions, and how can we support the ongoing fight for equal rights and non-discriminatory laws? You understand? So, I'll repeat the question. So we're shifting our focus on Africa, African continent. So we discussed the remarkable work of David Kato and other African queer activists. What challenges do LGBTQIA plus individuals face in different African regions, and how can we support the ongoing fight for equal rights and discriminated discriminatory laws? Yes. So I'll start with you, Chosen Begging.
Uh, the question you have asked,
Yeah.
it's under two categories.
Yeah.
We have to first get the ways
Mm,
how we can
mm,
promote.
Mm.
So me, I would say
yes.
through visiting local organizations.
Mm,
Like once we visit local organization,
Yeah.
we should reduce on the challenges which we face. Like I can be facing a challenge of homophobic.
mm,
So once I visit local organization, it will reduce on the homophobic people I met. Because such an organization, it will be having different mandate
mm.
compared to
Mm.
other. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Chosen Becky. So I think also getting Chosen Becky, what she was trying to hit on is around grassroots LG queer led grassroots organizations, like being able to people, because this is where like more we are the first what is the word, we're the first respondent when it comes to emergencies, and we are in direct contact with the beneficiaries, actually sorry, the customers that we serve. So yeah, being in touch, with these Alido or refugee-led organization or grassroots organization would be able to, help people that are always, the first responders to these emergency cases. Yes, I'll go to you, Emilia. What do you have? What are your thoughts around it?
So, my thought about reaching out to the grassroots, or should I answer that question?
Yeah, around
In line
the
with
challenges that LGBT.
So the challenge is what I think we should do first do is as the locals, if I might say,
Yeah.
as the grassroots implementers, how do we how do you engage more with the community members? How do you engage with the grassroots members to get to know the challenges? So, for instance, if we talk about Kenya, I've been to Kenya for some time, and I've seen a lot of challenges are happening. People are being arrested, members of the community are being arrested, members of the community are being accused by the fellow members, which is a very big challenge.
Yeah.
The community, I call it blackmail, of the one I don't want to use. So, but it's the fact. So how should we actually tackle that?
Yeah.
So we need to. Me and my view is if we could have conflict resolution team and we put them in two places.
Yeah.
And if there is anything with among us,
Yeah.
how and that team is there to react. Actually, we call them a react group.
Yeah.
How are they going to react if that team is there?
Yeah.
If it fails, then it could reach further.
Yes.
Like for instance, of late we had a case of a certain member who was being arrested over false allegation.
Yeah.
And if that team was into the place, then it would have really helped into navigating the cases, into handling and how this can be manifested. But because we don't have this, so challenge is more of arrests are happening to Kenya mostly when it comes to refugee asylum seekers and these transgender women in particular. So we need those react groups into the system. Then the other issue will be the livelihood.
Yeah.
How should we also talk about the livelihood of the queer refugee asylum seekers in Uganda, depressed trans or LGBTIQ plus members. What are their needs? How can we convene as one, as a collective?
Yeah.
Do we have a collective voice? Sorry, do we have a collective voice
Yeah.
as one?
Yeah.
And if we do that, that will also help into having our voice.
Yes.
Even if someone's there willing to support or something,
Yes.
what is that collective voice? How are we, like, are we organized? The organizing part is also missing. So we need to have that, and all this is going to be a perfect.
Thank you so much, Emalia. So I'll move to Conrad. So what are your insights around this?
I beg,
Oh, the question. Sorry. So, LGBT persons face a lot of challenges, right, in different African regions. And how can we support the ongoing fight for equal rights and non-discriminative laws, like in those countries? You understand? We understand the challenges that are there, but then how can we be able to support people who are still on, with the ongoing fight for equal rights and making sure like there are no laws like the one that passed in Ghana recent, actually, I think it's a day, 2 days, 1 day, yeah. So there was a law that was passed by bill, which is criminalize queer person. So how can we, support the people who are still on the ongoing fight for equal rights?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think according to me,
Yeah.
I think we would get some people who can defend our rights.
Yeah.
And because there are some people who don't know our rights, by the way, and those rights they're not supposed to be abused.
Yes.
So if we get some people who can fight our rights and defend us,
Yeah.
I think that would be better because whenever they violate our rights, we also got hurt. So whereby we are also human beings, we like others.
Yeah.
Being a queer person, it's not a crime. We didn't make any criminal case to anyone. So it's just like us. So it's better than we get someone who can defend our rights for those people to stop violating our rights.
So already there are people that are doing, making sure, like yourself, you're an activist in Kenya, and then Emalia and myself and everyone that is, on the front line to make sure like people have equal rights, even as also as displaced communities. So like, how can we support those people, right? How can I support you, Conrad, for you to better do your work? You understand? How can I support you or someone that is watching there? How can they best support us? People who are on the front line to be able, we understand there are challenges in Africa for identifying as a queer person, but then how can we support anyone? What support can we give to those people?
I think the support that we can give to those people is that we have to reach out to them and we know we interact with them so that we know what they need because they also have some basic needs that they need and whereby they can't reach out to them. So when we reach out when we go there and we interact with them, I think it will be better for them to know what they are yearning for and what they need for them to live a better life.
Thank you so much, Conrad.
Go ahead to Conrad. We should also make events as the way we are transgender here in Kenya. We can make events which will move into like global transgender. We can say, okay, today it's a transgender day of visibility. We can make those events so that even those kids which are planning to be queer, they should see those events and they start learning more and more.
Thank you so much. God, I'm very thirsty. So I was trying. So when you say plan kid, no one plans to be queer for everyone that is watching there. But understanding like people are born queer, people don't plan to be queer.
Yeah.
People don't plan to identify as transgenders, as as the many letters that we have within the LGBTQIA plus spectrum. So we're going to move to another question. It is crucial. Um, it is crucial to acknowledge the diverse identities within the LGBTQIA plus community. and that includes individuals under the umbrella of the ITGNC, that is intersex, transgender, and gender non-conforming individuals. Today, we celebrate those who are brave to share their stories and experience and break down the myths and the stereotypes associated with their identity. So the question there is, understanding, as you are, I mean, the people that we have today are part of the ITGNC community. And then most of the time, we don't see a lot of representation of the ITGNC, persons within the LGBT in the big spectrum. So what can we do so that, people have, because we know what representation means. So how can we do as activists, as you as Emalia and Conrad, and also as chosen baking? How can we do so that we can also have a seat for this representation of people that are not given a seat, in the big LGBTQIA class spectrum? So what can we do as activists or people who are on the front line? Make sure that everyone is seen and everyone is respected and everyone is represented. Yes. So Emalia, this goes to you, and you'll pass it to the next.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I'm not going to answer that, and I'm going to pose as a question as well to my fellow visitors. So, do you lobby for opportunities? Do you lobby for spaces?
Yeah.
Do you engage? Do you force yourself? At times, we have to force ourselves into spaces. So, if we to be visible and identify those places and be part of them, do we like get those opportunities? Do we? What's the right word that I can use to explain this?
Do we include? Are we inclusive to add other people within the
Yeah, is your voice heard? Are you important somewhere? If we to answer that question, let's first have this little discussion.
I love how you're stealing this show from me. And maybe I've never hosted you, but thank you so much. So yeah, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Conrad
We
and
as
also-
transgender persons and agents.
Are we trying to ensure that
Are we
we're
trying
getting
to-
representation in spaces where within the LGBTQ spectrum? So are we trying to see that we're getting a seat so that we can also have representation? What have you done? Because I know Conrad and also Chosen Baking, they're very prominent in the ITJC community, and they've done very tremendous work. So what work are you doing around, ensuring like every trans person you can be like a representation of them? So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Emaria. As chosen Becky, as a transgender, if I get that opportunity, I need to raise up my voice so that I can make like transphobia to be down ahead of me, whereby I would advocate for transgender rights through providing them rights, their rights, as I'm advocating them. I think your answer will be like that.
Thank you so much, Chosen Becky. So Conrad, what are you doing actively so that you trans ITJC persons have a seat within the LGBTQ spectrum and also movement? What are you doing? What actively are you doing as a transgender activist?
As a transgender activist.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that question.
Mm.
To me,
Yes.
what I normally do is that because sometimes I normally get opportunities
Yes.
to mobilize and how can I say it? To
Yeah. You can't say it wrong.
Okay, mobilize and engage.
Yeah.
okay, I normally mobilize some places and we gather.
Yes.
We start talking about some issues.
Yes.
Now, if I get that opportunity, I think because there is a transgender woman
Yes.
who can't come out and speak for themselves. Now it's me
Yes.
to stand and give out their views
Yes.
so that they can also like they can how can
They
I
can be very vocal and be
uh,
very
exactly.
Yes, visible.
I know one of my friend is down there she needs some help,
Yes.
but again, she doesn't know
Yeah.
how to approach to the people or whom they should approach to. So it's me,
Yes.
it's my work as her fellow trans woman
Yes.
to reach to those people
Yes.
and I interact with those people so that that person can get help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, Emalia, the question goes back to you. I know you were trying to avoid it. So, yeah, this is the time. What are you doing What are you doing actively as Emalia to make sure, like, our agency person and mostly like transgender women have a seat at the table within the big LGBTQIA plus spectrum?
Okay. So as me, Amalia, as I said, I'm a person for people.
Yes, yes.
I love people. I love transgender community. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I do love and appreciate that transgender community. So what have I done if it comes to inclusivity and representation?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I've tried. First of all, my one step to do if to engage with any person
Yes.
is to identify that person and to know who is that person,
Yes.
which category is that person.
Yes.
I want to talk about all the acronyms
Yes.
as the LGBTQ person, but most importantly, I do choose one.
Yes.
So if I know this person can differentiate between what we call soji,
Yeah.
that sexuality and that gender part. So that means that person is part of me.
Yeah.
And I would really embrace that person. So
Yeah.
I always engage people into spaces. And if I'm doing something as a transgender feminist activist,
Yeah.
I make sure that transgender feminist, transgender women are on the front,
On the spotlight, yes.
not the other part. I'm
Not at the
sorry.
back.
So women are always so please women. So I always make sure that women are always on the front and we should own our space. Make sure women, wherever we are,
Yes.
it's women.
Yes.
Either we cry if they can't listen, we cry, or we fight, or we cause anything so that we can own the space.
Yeah, you can be able
So
to have
that's
a
creativity.
yes.
The other time they're going to have a forum and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
my sister Becky is not in this forum. It's so boring.
Yeah,
We
very
should-
true.
Let not you be that participatory. We all have do different mindset and
Yes.
we all do different things in different aspects. So let them miss you onto that. Okay, something silly. That one silly thing that when you're not there, the fun is going to be that
Yeah.
motivating fun. You get?
Yes.
So that's what I do. And I always advise my fellow LGBTIQ plus individuals,
Yes.
please make yourself visible.
Yeah.
Force yourself into spaces. Even if you're not invited, make yourself visible. And the beauty is of late we having the visual thing so much.
Yes.
So make yourself visible. Don't ask for reimbursement or whatsoever. Make yourself be there.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to represent your community. That's how you're going to present yourself, and that's how you're going to be included when we talk about inclusivity.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to be included into a particular thing. Do voluntary work. Actually, this is very important.
Yeah.
I've been already doing so much voluntary work.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not supposed to do something, I'm like, call me, I'll be there. I'll cook for you tea. I'll clean the bathroom. I'll set up the venue. I'm good at when it comes to decorating. I'll decorate ABCD. Make yourself busy. I may not create a space for you or an opportunity, but I give you tips on how you should be inclusive into a particular engagement. So when it comes to transgender people,
Yes.
let's make ourselves visible.
Yes.
Let's do whatever it takes to make sure that we're visible because we majority into the majority.
Yeah.
So let's do whatever it is.
A
whatever
minority
it
within
is.
the minority.
Yeah, thank you so much,
And
Daddy.
by the way, to add on my point,
Yeah.
according to the point that I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
in my dream is that I need to, if I'm to die, I have to die when I've helped like 100 transgender woman. That's my dream. I started dreaming that thing even before I came out to be known as a transgender woman. Because a transgender woman, the problem that she's passing through, it's what I also pass through. So whenever she feels sad, I also feel sad because I'm also a transgender woman. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Conrad, and also Emalia, and also thank you for your insight. So something that I'm getting from all your inputs or your insights, it's around trans ITGs. People try to seek for opportunities of volunteerism. Like make sure like you volunteer at anywhere. If there is any kind of workshops or conferences, make sure if you don't see representation, always reach out to that organization and see like I don't see an ITGNC person being represented. So thank you so much for being very vocal because that's the only way that our ITGNC person can have a seat at the table. And so we understand there's lots of challenges that LGBTQI IA plus community face. But then when it comes to the ITGNC community, there is a lot of challenges. You understand? This is a minority within a minority group. So, and then also the other identity, being a displaced individual, having that identity, there are lots of challenges that comes to you as a ITGNC individual. So, how can we as a society create safer spaces and provide support for people who have experienced discrimination, violence, and displacement? Right? We understand the challenges that comes with one identifying as a transgender woman, right, in Africa. And then also it's more worse when somebody also has another identity, being a displaced individual, being an asylum seeker and a refugee. So how can we be able to, create a space that is more safe and provide support for those who have experienced discrimination, violence, and displacement? Yes, I'll start with anyone that is ready. I'm seeing like everyone is trying to be like, okay, you can do this. No answer is wrong.
No, we can
Yeah,
actually. It's
yeah.
very simple.
All right, thank you very much.
So let's start from yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, Mrs. Emalia has said about identifying. As a trans woman,
Yeah.
you have to identify which space you can go. I cannot say that this is a space that is not for transgender, and I put myself into that space. Definitely, I'll get transphobia. I will get some discrimination because I'll be a transgender and I will go to non-binary. So they want to give me a space to talk as a trans woman. Another thing is through advocating.
Advocacy. Yes.
Advocacy. Like the way if I have ever passed through a situation, I have to advocate for you so that my sister Conrad cannot pass into that situation anymore. Like I can see it on my Facebook.
Yeah.
I do my advocacy through video.
Yes.
I can make a video. We have different groups. I can share that video so that next time,
yes, someone can never.
some
go.
cannot never go like
Through that.
we pass through situation. Someone can know that you were trans woman, but you can reach into a situation. He calls you a man. So I want I like my sister Emaria Conrad to pass through that. I'll make a video and I say,
You sensitize.
please stop going to this place.
Yeah.
You'll be done this and this. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much. And like it's very important to actually what Chosen Becky is saying, making sure like we document and also sensitize our community. That people who are very prominent on the online try to use like your platforms to be able to sensitize the community so that we can see like something that you've gone through. Like this can be also be done by storytelling, can also be done by videos, so that people can educate about like what we are doing actually right now. People are getting education or learning about the ITJC community, and not just the ITJC community, but also the displaced, ITJC community. So yeah, so Emalia, I feel like you're ready.
I want so much differ from my sibling, Children Becky. Thank you. So what can we do that is really actionable? So to me, it will come back to me as an individual, as a person. What can I do? Am I really helping the community?
Yes.
What action can I take? So I'm going to, as I said, it's going to not to differ that much. How am I going to help children, Becky? How am I going to help a sister
Yes.
who is watching me now?
Right now.
And how is that person going to be
Yes.
in touch with me? And how am I going to address and tackle her issues or his issues?
Yeah.
That is an action thing. How can I? So that's one step I'm going to do. I need to find that person to know how I can talk to that person. So we always have we call when it comes to I'm so sorry, my audience, I'm so sorry, people, I love you so much. I'm raised on that transgender people. So with transgender person we always have a lot of challenges going on, and we cannot open up. And we want to have this we have this we want to have this what we call psychosocial support sessions.
Yes.
And if I identify that person,
Yeah.
I person as an individual, I can talk to that person.
Yeah.
I can because I've been through this.
Yes.
I'm an adult. I've been into transition for so many years.
Yeah.
So I can take this person through the process and there's a lot of trauma going to come from translation. So so there that is so actionable. I can do it as a person.
Yeah.
And that is a huge step
Yeah.
for a person gender individual. With the entire letters, yes, I can try because I've been to the community for almost 10 years.
Yes.
I'm so good at when it comes to talking to people, which is sure actionable. Then the other thing is how do you lobby for spaces? We talked about this. How do you lobby for spaces? Which people are supposed to connect with? Which people are supposed to engage into our spaces? Which people are we supposed to talk to? So that is also another one good aspect. If we really try to identify those people, that's all the other thing. Then the other actionable thing when it comes to finances and funds.
Yeah, funding.
Because we need funds and we need finance to run this to grow. Hello, audience, we really need funds. We really give people. So that is one thing. How are we lobbying funds? How are we going to fundraise for such activities? How because we need this. We need this. We need to talk to people. We need to talk to you, my people. I love you.
We try to work. Yes.
Yeah. So
How can we?
how do
Funding. I think something
which
that
is also very actionable. We need to identify. We have people.
Yeah.
I know you there, and you so much eager, willing to come on the body. You so much welcome. Please, this is so actionable. Work with us. We can do this. I think those are two major things that are so actionable and we can do this. So now our friends have connection. Our friends have connection. Let's do that. Let's connect our siblings. Let's connect our people.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Conrad, do you want to wind up? Sorry, to wind this discussion.
Yeah, let me wind up. According to me, Conrad,
Yes.
I think it's high time.
Mm.
It's high time we stand firm
Mm.
and strong because you're getting discriminated.
Mm.
Especially you transgender women.
Yes.
I have one of my EDs. She already said that trans women are women. In the other
Yes, trans women are women.
yeah, in the other language, the trans women are women. So
Are women.
so I know that you all there and we need to stand firm, we need to stand strong,
Yes.
and you need like to be so strong enough
Yeah.
to stand up and talk about yourself.
Yeah.
That
Thank you so much. So as we wrap up this discussion, like it has been very insightful, and I'm just glad that you were able like to be here and fix time within your busy schedules. And I want to first appreciate each one of you for looking fabulous. Like thank you. Also want to thank someone that was behind setting up this stage and also someone who did the makeup for the girls. Like, thank you so much for doing all this tireless work. The person who is on our camera, thank you so much for the incredible work for making sure like we look this beautiful. I can't believe like look at my face, like my chicken is like giving. So I want to thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and insight, and a big thank you to all our viewers, those who are joining us live, and those who will watch the show later on at your time. And let's also not forget, this conversation that shouldn't end here. We should start, this should be a conversation we should have when we're having lunch, when you're meeting your fellow girl for tea, I laugh because when you're meeting someone, let's make sure like you're actively like finding ways to be able to, better create a safe space for ITBMC refugees and also the LGBTQIA plus displaced community. And then also let's continue to educate ourselves and advocate for inclusivity and work towards a world where everyone is free to be their authentic self, to be their authentic self. Yeah, I'm repeating this. Where we create a world where everyone can get to be their authentic self. There is nothing that can beat that. When someone you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, yes, I love that woman. I love that man. And until then, stay fabulous, look beautiful like everyone who is on the panel who spent their beautiful time and they're here with us. And stay informed and keep spreading those positive vibes. Love you all. Bye. Until next time. We love you.
Comment, subscribe.
Subscribe. And this is the couch. Don't forget to like.